Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. Just wanted to talk to you guys about a topic that was given to me today in reference to representing your client. So it's whether I'm representing the buyer or the seller in real estate. So I find it interesting because I just had a conversation with someone today. Actually, it was a training in reference to the listing process, just understanding a few of the steps that are involved. Number one step is pre-qualifying people. Understanding, and what we mean by that is not so much financially, but just asking them the right questions to see, one, if they are in a position where they're wanting to actually sell their home. A lot of people make decisions on emotion. So sometimes when they're saying that they want to sell, it's not necessarily that they want to sell. It's just that they may be upset with their neighbor. They may be upset with their spouse. They may be upset with the HOA that's in the community, or a neighborhood dog. So there's a lot of things that you need to figure out in the beginning. So go ahead and pre-qualify or ask general questions in reference to pre-qualifying to see if they are ready to sell. An additional is you want to see what the property looks like. See the condition of the property. As a real estate professional, you have different websites that are out there. People are always telling me about estimates. It's like, oh, I got the value off of one of these websites. No, it doesn't necessarily work that way. That can be good, it can be bad. So what I mean by that is sometimes those values that are out there are nowhere close. So you need to really have someone, a local professional, that can help you understand what the market is actually doing and what your property is actually valued at. I'm running into that with a community that is a new community that was built next to a community that probably started in 1992. That's when the first homes were built in this community. Great homes, nothing wrong with them, but you have homes that are right literally next door to this community. Actually, communities are connected in the subdivision, so you may have 1,000 homes in one community, and then you have a little bit over 1,000 in a new community. And these homes or these two communities are connected, so they actually have roads that connect them, so you can travel between the two. But when you're doing, say, comps and trying to understand the values, you can't compare the two, because you have a house that was built in 1992 and now you're comparing it against a house that was built in, like, say, 2017. There's a big difference there. So when you look at it, say, on some of these websites, they compare the prices, and now people think that their property is worth way more than some of these newer homes. So with that being said, just representing your client. Just have a real estate professional so that they can represent a client in a particular way, whether it be on the buyer side or the seller side, just understanding the value. And that kind of mixes into the next step of the listing process, is just understanding the disclosures and the analysis that is figured out, just understanding that you're comparing apples with apples and not apples and oranges. So, and then another thing that's pretty important for a real estate professional is showing up early, and physically and mentally, 15 minutes early, and that's mentally and physically. So just make sure that you're there, you have everything together, you're getting there early, because if you get there late, it's going to look bad for you when the client looks at you for certain things. Just be on point. Know what you have to say. Have your scripts. Understand if you have any scripts to go by that. Review the information with the clients, and hopefully by the end of the day, you come away with the new listing. But keep in mind that you are representing the client. And I had a unique situation that happened today where in this training, they were saying, make sure that you set yourself apart from your actual client. And I didn't really understand that at first. And then they kind of explained it. It was like, well, you got it. If someone looks at you and your client, they need to be able to determine who is the real estate professional in that group. So I was like, all right, well, you should be able to tell that. That's what I thought initially. But, I just kind of let them speak and was like, all right, whatever. So today I was doing an open house, and I had 3 people walk in. I had one young man. I won't say it was a young man, but I mean, he was a gentleman. He came in, he had a pair of shorts on, t-shirt. Okay. I had another young lady. She walked in. Uh, she had like slacks on. She had some slacks. Not a t-shirt, but you know, it wasn't a dressy shirt. And then the third person was another female, and they had like some capris, kind of looked like Saturday grocery store wear, clothing wise, and also had a baby on her hip as well. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, okay, well, the real estate professional is probably the lady that's in the middle because of, just because of the situation. Turns out it was the real estate professional was actually the person with the baby on their hip. So you gotta watch. I'm not sure what happened in today's situation, but I definitely couldn't figure it out. And that was the first time that ever happened to me. So it doesn't look good. So try to keep that in mind. I mean, I understand things happen with the kids, but at the same time, you got to be aware of it and just realize that you're representing your client, and that if you're doing deals with another real estate professional, you want them to see you as a professional as well, so that you can get the best representation for your client. Because maybe the client may not mind, but when you're dealing with other individuals that are in the same profession, it may make a difference for your deal. So you want to make sure that you get that little leverage if you need it. And if not, then just making sure that you're doing things that are necessary to be successful. So that's one of them. So differentiate yourself from your client, and then just representing them in a professional manner so that your deals are taken seriously. So with that being said, this is Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. Have all a great weekend and take care.